Okay guys, still on the topic of these trousers. Okay, I don't know if this video will be up by then, but we just installed the fly front zipper. Now I want to install the waistband, and even though we've done other types of waistband on this channel, I wanted to show you guys how to do a bias bound waistband. Okay, this is my waistband. It's in 3 pieces, or it should be in 3 pieces as far as I know. Hold on. Yeah, so this is the waistband, 3 pieces of them, and they have been interfaced, and I'm going to fold them in half, right? Fold this one in half this way, fold this one in half this way, and attach it to the trouser, of course. But this is the bias binding that we will put on the end of the waistband. Okay, so that at the end of the day, the waistband kind of, this is the bias binding that we put on to look like this. Okay. All right, so this waistband is like 1.25 inches, because I wanted to sew it up like this and still have something at the back. But like I said, I'll show you guys how we do it, and let's get to sewing. Okay guys, so this is the waistband all sewn up, right? And the first thing we are going to do is to attach the bias binding this way. Okay, so when we attach it, we will pin and just sew up. Okay, and you can use whatever allowance you want. I think I'll use like a 1/4 inch. Okay, then we'll turn it over and press. But first, let us start sewing this along, then I'll get back to you guys. So now I'm done sewing up the bias binding. Okay, and then all I did was just iron it this way, and then I folded everything up equally and ironed on again. Okay, now I will also go in and iron this down this way. Okay, after then we will go on to sewing it on to the pair of trousers. So now I have pinned the other end of the waistband to the trouser, and I'm going to sew at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and we are going to finish this edge. Okay, so give whatever space you want for your allowance. I'm giving like 1/4 inch. Just leave that space here and pin everything down, and we will just sew with our 1/2 inch seam allowance, which is what I'm giving. We just sew that all through, and everything should be okay from there. Okay, so now we have the waistband like this, and as you can see on the inside of the garment, we have ironed this seam allowance that we sewed into the waistband, and this will go over top like this. Okay, then we will just top stitch, but first we have to close up this raw edge here. Okay, and to do that, we will just fold everything in like this, fold it at the center where it's supposed to be. Okay, so it looks like this on this side, and we will just sew it up like this and turn it over so that it encloses the edge of the zip. Okay, let's do that, and you do that on both sides. Okay, just sew a straight line. Okay, now as you can see, we have sewn it all up. You can see both sides. Then if you want, you can trim it down so that there isn't much bulk on this end. Okay, then we will just put our finger in there and turn it inside out. Okay, so the outside looks like this and the inside looks like this. We're going to turn this inside this way, and then we will just top stitch from this side, okay, so that it catches the back when we are sewing. And with that, we should be done with the waistband. Okay, I will top stitch that now, then come back and show you guys the finished project. So you guys, I hope you can see the waistband looks all neat and nice on the outside, and on the inside it cuts this bias binding. And if you can remember, we did not, because most people who do this bias bound waistband, they actually sew on the other side, but I think that's just like a long way around. You know, if you cut it long enough, then you can just iron it flat and it will still catch in the seam that we sew here. So this is basically a stitching in the ditch, and you have to go really slow and steady, you know, to make it. So even here it's cut, and this part that we folded in got cut on the inside, so everything is all nice and neat. So all that you would do now is to add your button. So you would just add your buttonhole here and your button, so that you could button that up. But this is a zip and this is the waistband on the inside. Everything looks nice and lovely. And like I said, you guys, this zipper installation, we have the tutorial on the channel, and I have a whole playlist of how to sew different types of zips. We have our centered zip, we have railroad zip, we have invisible zip, you know, and now I'm teaching you guys this waistband with bias binding. Okay guys, like, comment, subscribe, share what you share, fun stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next video.